isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for. No religion soon. Imagine all the people living life in peace. You may say I'm a dreamer. I'm not the only one. Now someday you'll join us, and the world will be as one. That you know possessions. I wonder if you kiss.
Since becoming president, Donald Trump has dismantled years of critical climate, jobs, and justice wins. He's defaulted on global climate commitments, appointed CEOs who poison our environment, signed orders attacking immigrants and refugees, and provided a national platform for white supremacy. But we are resisting. By marching hundreds of thousands across the country, we are building, strengthening relationships across and within movements, and we are rising. Young people are rallying around leaders pledging to cut emissions, union workers and faith leaders creating sanctuaries for immigrants under attack, and citizens calling out bigotry wherever it is found. And now, we are marching. We march because we know that a world that responds to the emergency will be a more beautiful and prosperous one without immense energy corporations corrupting politics, one without toxic sludge from tar sands and toxic air from refineries making locals sick, one where the sun and the wind give us boundless energy, one where the future is not sacrificed to the present. We all understand that we have a responsibility to leave a better world for our children and our children's children. So we must demand and fight for a fair and fast transition to 100% renewable energy. We must vote for those who are unbeholden of special interests and demand climate action at the ballot box in the midterm elections. With that said, I have assembled an awesome panel of progressive candidates running for office, as well as local environmental activists to educate us and to shed more light on these issues. Each presenter has been given a 5 to 7 minute window to speak. I will introduce each speaker until we have concluded. Once we have
$50 million. I tell you from all of the work that I've done that it's cost a whole lot more. $90 million is cash that's not coming in, but it doesn't count the number of inpatient days, outpatient days, inhalers, blood transfusions, IV liquids. It doesn't count any of that. And a lot of the people that got hurt the worst don't have any insurance. Where is the money to help them? Where is the dollar? Where are the dollars? Where are the people from the Florida Department of Environmental Protection in Dunbar who promised to be there on July 15th, checking out the water and starting to dig? Today is September 8th. That 2 months ago, we haven't seen the whites of their eyes. Where are they? And don't tell me they're cleaning up the blooms, because we all know they aren't, because they aren't keeping any records. Do you know that the CDC and the EPA have not been here yet? Do you know why? Because they have to be called in by Governor Scott. You don't have any right to sit down in this election because all of our lives depend on this election. You don't have a right to not know who your House and Senate representative is because they are controlling the money that will fix this problem. You don't have a right to not convince your neighbor and your mother and your daughter and every school teacher that you find that they have to stand up this year coming. But we are the people that put them in office. And you, my friends, are the people that have traveled with me, or I've traveled with you, to Albates, to Sierra Club, I could go down the list and I can't see your faces fast enough, to the DECs of both counties, to the east side for the Superwomen Conference. Yes, I'm a superwoman. Yeah. One of my proudest things that I get to say. And yes, I do have the right to call a press conference. So I'm telling you here, as a citizen, you have a right to do all the things I'm telling you about. What you don't know is I stood up in a room of, sorry guys, blue suits, and said we need an Office of Women's Health in this state of Missouri when I was chair of the Health Council for the governor. And we convened 2 statewide women's conferences. I know how to do this, ladies. Only this time, everybody's at risk. We have no idea what's going on in our water supply. No one will tell us. We have no idea what's going on out there, and there are no warning signs. We have no idea what's going on up there, and I can tell you every time I come to Lee, it takes me 24 hours to stop coughing. But I'm going to keep coming back because I need your votes and you need my votes. And we all have to make the promise that we're going to get those votes. So here's what I want to ask you. Do you love Governor Scott and you want him to be your senator? No! The word I want you to use is boo. Did you do boo? This is a big setup for me, so work with me here, okay? All right, I'm going to try it again. Are you going to vote for Governor Scott? No! Are you going to vote for DeSantis? No! Are you going to, I'm going to stop that. I want to hear you tell me no or boo 5 times in a row. You ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, louder. And I'm going to tell you exactly what the man who inspired all of us says. Don't boo, vote!
77th birthday today. He actually inspired me to organize this last year. Bernie Sanders, everybody. Our next presenter is running for Florida State Representative District 78. She's a science-based realist, activist, and doctor. She spoke at this year's Southwest Florida March for Science, and most recently was a part of the expert panel alongside Anessa Kareem addressing the green algae crisis. Please welcome my good friend, Dr. Parisa Mateed.
Hi everybody, thank you so much for being here. I'm Parisa Mateed. I'm a local physician in town. I'm running for State House District 78 against Heather Fitzenhagen. So initially, the reason I became very interested in politics is because I'm actually an immigrant to this country. I came here at the age of 7. I was a refugee. I was detained by the authorities, but I was always respected with kindness, dignity, and respect, unlike the Trump administration. So that's why I got drawn into politics and I decided to run. And I'm also a Marjorie Stoneman Douglas graduate. So after the shooting massacre, that had a major impact on myself and my other classmates. So, as a physician, as a scientist, as an environmental advocate, what we are doing to our environment and our waters, we are killing it. We are abusing it, and we're going to damage the society and our communities. We need to vote on November 6th. We have candidates up and down the ballot who are advocating for the environment, for the waters. We have Anessa Kareem, she's an ecologist. She was on the panel with myself at the town hall on August 6th at Broadway. And we have Jennifer Boddicker, she's a microbiologist. She has a PhD. We have awesome candidates. We need to all vote. As a physician, public health is my #1 concern. The toxic water, that could have a major effect on our health. It could kill us in the future from chronic liver disease and liver cancer. We are killing our wildlife, our sea life. We need to do something about this. My opponent is taking money from the sugar industries, from the fertilizers, from polluters, from tobacco industries. We need to do something. We need to prevent this from happening. We need to vote out these polluters. We need to vote out elected officials who are not doing anything about this. We need to tax the polluters fairly and hold them responsible for the way that our economy has gone down. This crisis we're facing is not only having a public health crisis, but also an economical crisis. People have lost jobs, they've lost their businesses, they have gone bankrupt. What are the elected officials doing? Now they're acting that they care about us, that they're caring about the environment. That's all bullshit. We need to throw them out on November 6th, including my own opponent, Heather Fitzpatrick. If she's watching this, which I'm sure she is later on, you need to leave office because you're taking money from all the polluters who have done this to our society and to our district. Thank you so much, and I hope you all vote.
Running for Congress to replace Francis Rooney. And it's essential that we do that. We know there's a problem in Southwest Florida with our environment, with our water and our air. All you have to do is walk to the shore, along the canals in Cape Coral, anywhere there's water, and we know. But Francis Rooney doesn't know because Francis Rooney isn't here. Anyone seen him this summer? Because I haven't, and I've been looking. So we have an opportunity this year, not just to elect a Democrat to Congress in this district, but to make sure that we change the priorities of this government and this nation towards clean water and clean air and sustainability, because that's simply not happening under this administration. If you go to Francis Rooney's website, he looks like the president of the Sierra Club. But if you look at his voting record, you see something very different. He's earned a 0 rating from the League of Conservation Voters. No other member of the Florida delegation, Republican or Democrat, has a 0. You gotta work to get a 0. Right? He's voted to roll back essential EPA protections for clean water and clean air. He has voted to slash the EPA budget. He simply doesn't care about the health of his constituents, the people in this district. And I've had enough. Have you had enough? Then we have to act, and we have to act together, because this is the year. This issue is no longer a secret in Southwest Florida. It's international news, right? And we know that. And in this district, in this state, the environment is the economy. I had a woman on Fort Myers Beach crying in my arms because working 2 jobs, she can't pay her bills. She has her own business and she works in a restaurant, and she can't get enough work because the tourist season this summer has collapsed to pay her bills, and she is scared for her future and the future of her family. We have to do something about that, and we can do something about that. And I promise you, in January, when I have the privilege of serving in Congress with Mary Barzee Flores, who will be representing the 25th District, that together we will make sure that the priorities of this district and of every American, simply put, to be able to breathe, to be able to go into the water and drink it without fear for our health and our lives, to ensure that our children and their children have the environment we were given. That's going to be our first priority, and we will do that together with your help. Thank you.
After that, I was a judge in Miami-Dade County Circuit Court for close to 9 years. Justice and fairness is an issue that I care about a lot. And what we're doing to this environment, to our environment, to our children's future, is neither fair nor just. In 2015, I had what was the greatest honor of my professional life when President Barack Obama nominated me to the federal bench. But I got my nomination blocked by Marco Rubio. Yeah, he blocked my nomination during his famous run for the presidency, and at the time he told the press it was in part, he was blocking me in part because of my past support, get ready for this, of the ACLU and Emily's List. Yes, I know, very subversive organizations. So Marco Rubio, pollution enabler himself, didn't want me on the federal bench. And you know what, folks? I can guarantee you this, he doesn't want to see me in Congress either. Because he and my opponent, Mario Diaz-Balart, and Rick Scott, and the Trump administration are all a part of the same problem. They don't give a damn about our health. They don't give a damn about the health of our environment. They don't give a damn about our children or our children's future. And you know what, folks? That's why they gotta go, and we gotta get in. My opponent, Mario Diaz-Balart, is one of the biggest acceptors of money from Big Sugar in the United States Congress. I guarantee you folks, I am sugar-free. He's accepted, he's voted against EPA regulations almost every time he's had the opportunity. He's voted in favor of repealing the Affordable Care Act every single time one of those lousy bills came across the House floor. You know, when we're talking about the effects of this kind of, it makes somebody who gave a damn about the people in the district would be in favor of more health care instead of opposed to it. That's why we've got to vote him out. And you've got to vote people like David Holden and me in.